America's students. Most are now back in the classroom, but after months of remote learning, many have fallen behind. And to make matters worse, thousands of children are reported missing from the school system altogether after the pandemic made it more difficult to keep track of students. ABC's Will Carr reports.
This is how many school hours kids around the world have lost to COVID-19. According to UNICEF, that's more than 1.8 trillion hours. This art installation displayed outside the United Nations intended to urge a return to in-person learning. Here in the U.S., schools are back in session, but millions of American kids spent upwards of 18 months without setting foot in a classroom, and many are starting the new school year far behind.
There's some uncertainty with masking and the kids getting back into that routine, if you want to call it the routine. How much of a loss in learning did they experience? You know, is there going to be a catch-up period for them?
A July analysis by McKinsey & Company found students K through 12 across the United States are more than 5 months behind in math and more than 4 months behind in reading.
When many students have not seen a highly qualified educator in front of them, our parents have done the best job that they could have done during this time.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
A Houston school superintendent going door to door to convince students to return to school.
We're just trying to give them support to get them back in school.
Floyd Henley stopped going to school, instead working 20 hours a week at McDonald's.
You know, get back in there and do whatever's necessary.
He's one of thousands of students just in Houston who dropped out or lost touch with their school district.
School is 100% important. Like I told them, that he works with me at my job. So like I tell him, school is the #1 thing. You can't do anything without education.
But even after returning to the classroom, students who missed significant time face an uphill battle, says Duke University's Robin Gurwitch.
Children that were already struggling before, as much as I love Kelly Clarkson, she got it wrong. What doesn't kill you doesn't make you stronger.
Professor Gurwitch studies and treats childhood trauma and the impact of disaster events on development.
The more traumatic events you are exposed to, the greater the risk for challenges in overall development.
It's the challenge facing school administrators and teachers, how to bring students back into the classroom safely and get everyone caught up.
Children that are dealing with stress and anxiety or depression, what it often looks like is problems with concentration, problems with attention, problems with learning new information.
Remote learning was far from ideal, and technology could only do so much.
We know that the best way for a child to learn is in person, in front of a highly qualified educator.
Last year, we spoke with Maria, who lives in a rural community in Texas where internet is often unstable.
I didn't enter our class, and neither did the teacher because she didn't have internet connection.
Students also missed out on in-person resources that go beyond the classroom.
Children with developmental disabilities, children with speech language issues, children with motor concerns across the age span, children with ongoing mental health issues. So for those children, for those students, the services that normally would have been available to them through the schools have not been easily available or sometimes have been completely absent.
Can you find all the sixes inside of it?
Emily Goss's 5-year-old son Berkeley was born tongue-tied and after surgery needed a speech therapist provided by his school district to help his recovery. After a year of distance learning without this service, Berkeley returned to school in person.
This year, I just felt like he's missed out on so much social and emotional development that he needed to be back in school.
After a COVID outbreak sent Berkeley back into remote learning, Emily made a difficult decision.
Without having those resources and the stress of going back and forth, it just wasn't going to work for us all year. So we decided to withdraw from school.
Choosing the stability of homeschooling over the stress of uncertainty.
I feel like we're questioning every single thing we do. Is it right? Is it wrong? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? And it's an impossible decision.
And now, with the new school year underway, the clock is ticking for educators.
The children in greatest need are the children that are least likely to get those services. How do we help make sure children aren't left even further behind?
Our thanks to Will for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.